Hello everyone, welcome again to the channel. I want to share with you my opinion about this recent information. The first one is this article from Al Jazeera where there is a quote from Zelensky who says, "No Ukraine ceasefire deal without Russian withdrawal." And then we will go into more detail about that. This brought my attention because recently I shared with you this article. The article talks about Ukraine claims Hungary wants its territory. So we already did a video on that. But at the time I mentioned this to you, I forgot to highlight this area of the article. Maybe I mentioned it, but not in great detail. So let's pay a little bit more attention to this. As you remember, this comes from Alexei Danilov, which is Secretary of Ukraine's National Security and Defense Council. And he was saying Ukraine does not intend to sign any kind of peace treaty with Moscow, but will only accept a Russian surrender. So what does this mean? It means peace is no longer on the table. Peace is no longer on the table. They don't want to do a peace treaty, and not only that, but they kind of imply that Russia has to surrender as any kind of precondition for this. So let's pay a little more attention to this. It says Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has said his country could not accept a deal with Moscow that will allow Russian troops to remain in the occupied territory. Zelensky said Ukrainian forces had halted the Russian offensive in what he described as the first stage of the conflict. So pay attention to this because it's very important. You, basically, what Ukrainian president is saying is that they have a plan, and he says the first stage of his plan. Pay attention to this. It's like he was already prepared for this. The first stage of his plan was halting the Russian offensive, and they succeeded. This is successful. Now they are in the second part of the offensive, where Ukraine will expel all Russian troops from its territory, and in the third part will move to fully restore its territorial integrity. So this is really just crazy talk. In the first place, there was never any kind of stages or any kind of plan. It seems like if they had some kind of plan to how to accomplish this, and is what it is that Ukraine is reacting to every Russian action. They are not setting the pace. They don't have any stages. They don't have any plan. That's what it is. But I can see why Western audiences might believe all this because there is no counterpart, no counter opinion. So if you are just listening to mainstream media, you don't have a countenance, a comparison, a counterbalance to all this nonsense that is just being spelled like gospel, and people just believe it because it comes from mainstream media. It's really ridiculous and it's very dangerous because this cannot be realistically accomplished. Number one, the first part is that they halted Russian offensive. Where? Where exactly did they halt the Russian offensive? Second stage, which should be underway, it involves expelling Russian troops from its territory. The Russian army is taking over larger and larger pieces of Ukrainian territory. So how exactly Ukraine is going to accomplish the second stage? I don't see it. Ukrainian army is already disabled and almost destroyed, which is very sad. Is very sad because the loss of life is catastrophic, is huge. The amount of soldiers that are dying, Ukrainian soldiers, Russian soldiers, civilians, this doesn't need to happen. It's just completely crazy talk, you know. And the third part will imply to restore the territorial integrity of Ukraine, which, if you believe their crazy talk, involves, you know, restoring control over Crimea, control over the entire area of Donbass. So this is just nonsense. It's crazy, crazy and dangerous talk, you know. He says that he will not accept a frozen conflict, kind of implying that what happened with the Minsk agreements was some kind of frozen conflict. And then he has this strange obsession that he wants to talk to Putin. He must meet him to negotiate any deal to end the conflict. This will not happen. And you know why? Because this is exactly what he wants. He wants a public stunt to say, oh, I talked to Putin, and whatever he says, it will be highlighted by all social media. So he wants just an audience to talk about what he wants to say, to keep people thinking that Ukraine is winning the war when it's not. And just pay attention to the most recent events where, you know, Russia has started to target transport infrastructure, and it's just part of a recent shift in strategy, you know, from Russia, because before they were not targeting any infrastructure at all, you know, and now they are doing it to stop the weapons from flowing freely along, you know, the roads leading to Ukraine's main battlefields. So this was expected, and but Ukraine is not doing anything about it. They are unable to counteract any Russian attacks. So yes, pay attention to the contradictions. Yes, read deeply, pay attention. It doesn't make any sense. You know, you need to use your intelligence. You need to use your reasoning. And the Azov style steel works situation is still just more craziness. You know, it's amazing what is going on there. So I consider this a sign of what they actually want to accomplish, but I don't see how they're going to do it. Ukraine itself is not able to do it, and they are threatening all their neighbors. They are threatening um, Hungary. They are threatening also Poland. They're threatening Belarus as if they were the big and powerful country with a powerful military that is able to do as it wants. They're threatening Moldova, they're threatening Transnistria. This is just really, really crazy, really dangerous, and this needs to be stopped. You know, peace is the solution, but they already said they don't want peace. So that's what it is. Let me know, guys, what you think about it. And as always, I ask you to please like this video, share in social media, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you again very soon. Thank you for watching.